Grimm and Penelope are all about secrecy and adventure. Within a short span of 3 years, they went from fighting crime as co-workers to falling in love through a secret relationship. What surprise might Penelope reveal to Grimm through a coded message? Welcome back to WizardPhD. I'm Professor Lynette, and today we are going to be decoding the last hidden message that we have in our mysteries in Wizards Unite. Before we get started, I wanted to give an update on the book cipher. So as you know, Melissa from the comments had a copy of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them that was printed in China and had a slightly different printing than the one that I had on camera. This is printed and collated in China and the USA. And this one says printed in China, 137. Which is what I want. So she went on a mission to hunt down both the printed in USA and the printed in China versions to see the differences. And what she found is that on page 39, 38 and 39, we have hippogriff. My copy has 2 paragraphs for hippogriff, and her copy did not have this second paragraph. So it ended up shifting everything by a little bit. Hippogriff section on page 38 got thrown off, and so we have pages, the further pages 40, 41, 42, all the way to page 52, and 53 actually gets a reset. So even though on the other copy this is blank, it starts up again at 53, and then everything is right on track. So it's only a few pages that are affected. So Melissa's copy was off, but my friend Gita Lovegood also had a printed in China version of this book, and hers was exactly like mine. So I'm not sure how a printing error like this happens. Perhaps Melissa's printing batch was earlier than Gita's printing batch, and they fixed it by the time, I don't know, they discovered that it was wrong. So I don't think that this was intentional. So I don't think that we're looking for a very, very, very specific copy of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I actually think that the people in charge of making the coded messages for Wizards Unite just happened to have Melissa's copy, and it worked out. So that's something to keep in mind in the future, because there might be a possible printing error, but we have the general strategy, and that should work for the book ciphers. Today's cipher we're talking about is a Visionnaire Cipher, and it actually is an adaptation of the Caesar cipher, which we talked about before. A Visionnaire Cipher is more complex than a simple Caesar cipher because there are multiple iterations based on a given key. Both of these ciphers involve shifts in alphanumeric text, so we'll be able to rotate in sequence of the alphabet by a number. I won't go into Caesar ciphers in this specific video, but if you want to know more of an in-depth explanation, you can check the link below. Thank you so much to my decoder friends on Discord, I'll put their names up here, for pointing me in this direction so that I can understand the Visionnaire Cipher, and they found that the key was actually from the silver locket clue that we got. On this silver locket we have an inscription: my strength, my heart, my life, G and P. We're starting with the phrase itself, my strength, which is actually 7 letters. That's all the letters that we have in the coded message. Typically in a Visionnaire Cipher, if you have your keyword that is shorter than the length of the actual message, you would just repeat that keyword over and over. There are 2 ways to approach this. I'm going to show you both. The first has to do with a table that we're going to be using to help us decode. To decrypt a Visionnaire Cipher, we're going to start with the key, which is on our rows. We're starting with the row, this pink right here. We're going to start with the key, and then in the row, we're going to find the coded cipher text in the middle, and then that will help us identify the column on the top in yellow. Starting with M, that's the first letter in our key. We're looking at this row, and then we're going to find U. That is gonna lead us to our column, and our decoding is I. Then we have row Y. We are looking for R in our array. So if I follow that all the way up, it gives me T. Row S, we're looking for the K. Follow that up, S. Row T, T is this first one. We go to A. We have row R, looking for the S, that's that second one. B. Row E, now we're looking for S here. That's O. Finally, we have N. We're looking for L, which is the second to last one here, Y. Alternatively, you could use the key to help you figure out the specific rotational shift forward for each letter. So what I've done is I've listed out our alphabet, A through Z. If you remember from here, we were looking at that row 0, no shift, shift 1, shift 2, shift 3. So that's what these numbers correspond to. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So we are starting with the cipher. This is our coded message. Now we want to look at our key, and that's going to tell us the shifts that we need to do from the coding to decode it. For M, we are going to shift 12. For Y, we are going to shift 24. For S, we are going to shift 18. For T, we're going to shift 19. For R, we're going to shift 17. E, we're going to shift 4. N, we're going to shift 13. So remember, we can go forward in the alphabet or backwards in the alphabet when we're doing Caesar ciphers. So we're going to start with moving forward, starting with U, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wrap around 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's G, going R, 24. You can see we're not really getting anything. T going 19, S going 17, S going 4, and then L going 13. Forwards doesn't really give us anything. Let's try backwards. Okay, starting with U, this time we're going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Gives me I. Starting with R, going 24. T, starting with K, going backwards 18. Starting with T, going backwards 19. A, starting with S, going backwards 17. B, starting with S, going back 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. O, starting with L, going back 13. Whichever way makes most sense to you, if you like the intersections where you're looking with rows and columns and finding it that way, or if you wanted to do the translation all the way. We have the exact number of letters in the key as in the coded message, but if the coded message is longer than the key, and if it was just my, then we would repeat MY, 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 M. So it would just repeat the key if it's shorter than the coded message. There you have it. That's our decoded message. It's a boy. Of course, more questions than we have answers for. Now, it's a boy. Might it be referring to Addison, their son? Is Addison the oldest child that they have? Is this something that Grimm has been waiting 5 years for, as we saw from a previous message? Or might that 5 years be referring to something else? I'm not sure what the answers are to these questions, but it is fun to speculate. In my next video, I'm going to be going deep diving into the 4 coded messages that we have so that we can try to extend out of what is it that Grimm and Penelope were up to, what were the sequencing of these messages, and could they be related somehow? If you have your own theories about what is going on with this story based on these coded messages, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. And until next time, Juan's ready.